How much did the poor widow give?
2 coins.
2 coins.
2 coins.
All her savings.
Everything.
All her savings.
What did you say, Jim?
Everything.
Everything. You know, I've been a priest 24 years. I don't know how many times I heard this gospel. I read it. I preached on it. This morning, as I was preparing for the Mass, that's the first time I heard or kept listening till the end of the gospel, where Jesus says, she gave all her livelihood. There is a big difference if you give 2 pennies, even if she just had 10 pennies. But she gave all her livelihood. She gave everything she had. That's quite a statement. Why would she do this? Because she trusted in God. She trusted that if she did what is right, God will take care of her. The same thing with Daniel and his friends. They followed the law and they trusted that God will provide. God will give them the wisdom and the strength to do what they're supposed to do. And I think that's the great lesson for us today. It's not how much we should give, whether we should give sacrificially or not. It's about our trusting in God. How much do we trust God? How much are we willing to step out of the boat and let Jesus help us walk on the water, or trust that He will help us walk on the water, deal with the storms? Are we willing to remain faithful and obedient because we trust Him, or we panic and take things in our hands? We take control again because we don't trust God. Yesterday, with the Solemnity of Christ the King, again, the gospel we had is not the gospel you think is fitting for the celebration of Jesus the King. It was about Jesus on the cross. It's about Jesus giving everything He had to God because He trusted the Father, although He was at the end of His life. He trusted that God would fulfill His promise and raise Him up to life. It's learning how do we deepen our trust in God is all what our spiritual life is all about, our journey in this earth. How can we trust God more? And I think Daniel gives us a clue. We start with small things. He told the steward, give us 10 days, see what happens. Maybe we can, try to trust God in an area that's a little challenging for us and see what happens. We won't get to that point that the widows were at one time. I'm sure maybe she had many days where she thought she's not going to have enough to eat, and suddenly God provided. That's why she was comfortable in offering everything she had, because she's been there before, and she's learned that God is always faithful. He always comes through if we just trust Him, if we let Him work His miracle in our lives. Maybe let's take a few minutes sometime today or during this week. We have, a long weekend. And think about, as we begin in a church year, as kind of your New Year resolution. What do you need to do to deepen your relationship with Jesus so you can trust Him more? So that one day you're willing to give all you have for the glory and praise of God.